What's going on, Who Dat Nation? A halftime score of the Green Bay Packers 3, the New Orleans Saints 17. Brendan Boylan here with Bob Rose, Saints News Network. John, Hendrix, Kyle T. Mosley, they're out in Jacksonville, Florida, so they handed off the responsibilities for pregame and halftime to Bob and I. And if you were here for the pregame, we gave you some of our X factors in the game, and I think it's safe to say, Bob, some of our X factors have certainly shown why we selected them to be the X factors. A very impressive start for the New Orleans Saints, dominating time of the possession, keeping the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. Jameis Winston has been impressive. Alvin Kamara has done what Alvin Kamara has done. And how about Juwan Johnson? First NFL touchdown, tapped the top of his head like NBA players do after a dunk. He boxed a guy out, went up and got a rebound. But the Saints have been rolling on all cylinders thus far.
Yeah, they absolutely have. And let's not forget the effort by Tony Jones, picking up some key yardage between the tackles, allowing them, New Orleans, to move Kamara a little bit more around the formation. One of our other X factors. I think Paulson Adebo, knock on wood, has played a very solid game so far because, as we expected, the Packers would go after his coverage, and so far Adebo has held up very well. Really, the lone play down the field that Rodgers and company got was to Devontae Adams, and that was under Marshawn Lattimore's coverage. After a penalty to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. But outside of that, Marcus Davenport has made some noise, getting the lone sack by either team in the first half and a few key pressures. I thought Quan Alexander made a few key, very crucial tackles to shut down an early Green Bay drive. And Jameis Winston has played very composed football. The New Orleans Saints are dominating offensively, their offensive line, and that's even with Eric McCoy going down. Probably not likely to come back in. So the Saints had to move Cesar Ruiz from right guard into center, and then plug Calvin Throckmorton in instead of James Hurst at right guard. And Throckmorton and Ruiz have really dominated at the point of attack.
Well, and that was a big point of the ball game. Eric McCoy, lower leg injury, questionable to return, but with how dominant the New Orleans Saints have been on the offensive line, if he's not 100%, I don't see the team trying to push the issue and push the envelope and getting him back out onto the field. But as you said, Bob, very impressive first half for the New Orleans Saints on multiple facets of the game. What have you liked the most, or what's one player that's really surprised you today? For me, it's Quan Alexander. Not saying we didn't know his capabilities, but shoot, it's only been 8 months since this guy tore his Achilles tendon, and he's out there starting the game. He's running sideline to sideline like he hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I'm nominating Quan Alexander for the part of Wolverine in the next X-Men movie. I'm impressed by his play. I already mentioned Paulson Adebo, and Tony Jones is really, really playing well. And Jason Williams, I see you. And Brendan already mentioned Juwan Johnson. The entire offensive line is controlling the point of attack, allowing the Saints to run the ball and dictate the pace of the game, and that's allowing Jameis Winston to stay within his comfort zone.
Well, that's one thing, and I go back to tons of the interviews that Jameis did this offseason, how impressed I was with the composure and how he spoke throughout the offseason. But the one thing he learned from Drew Brees was what? Be Bruce Wayne until you have to be Batman. Be the best version of Jameis Winston that you possibly can until you have to go make a play. And they've said it on the broadcast a few times. Well, this is a Jameis Winston and Bruce Arians system that in this moment, maybe he wouldn't have thrown the ball away. Maybe he would have tried to find someone downfield and try to push the envelope. But you're really seeing Jameis Winston composed, understanding his role, understanding how to manage and be a little bit more of a game manager. And the perfect example I have is he had a throw where he could have stood in the pocket, read a newspaper, sent out a couple tweets, and couldn't find anybody open and just slung it over Alvin Kamara's head instead of trying to push the ball downfield. I think we're seeing some of the best Jameis Winston that we've seen in years, Bob.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I would expect, I sort of expect the Saints to take a couple downfield shots probably early in the second half, maybe run some play action fakes and see what develops from there. But yeah, as long as Jameis Winston doesn't feel like he has to win the game by himself, as you pointed out, he's obviously learned a lot from Sean Payton's tutelage, and certainly by watching and talking to Drew Brees. So Jameis's stats might be a little bit pedestrian right now, but he's gotten the ball in the end zone twice. And the entire Saints offense is operating pretty efficiently right now.
And that's without anybody really standing out in that wide receiving corps that had a lot of questions to it, because outside of Deontay Harris and Marquez Callaway, there was a lot of questions. Well, who's going to step up? Only 9 completions for Jameis on the 12 attempts. But as you said, Bob, the numbers might say he hasn't done a whole lot, but he's played a pretty flawless game to this point. Alvin Kamara, 16 touches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And honestly, those numbers surprised me a little bit, because this isn't the Kamara that's busted off a super long run. He certainly looked explosive at times, especially there in the second quarter, but there's nothing spectacular about what the Saints are doing right now. It's doing some of that dirty work. It's really dominating the trenches, which is a key to winning any football game. And they've really kept Aaron Rodgers and company in check. And Aaron Rodgers' stats, as you see up on your screen now, very pedestrian as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Green Bay is going to get the ball first in the second half. So the Saints are going to be under the gun, to try to get a key stop and get the ball back into their offense's hands. We've talked about the Saints dominating the pace of play in the trenches offensively. They've also been able to do so defensively. As long as they continue to win those interior battles on both sides of the line, the Saints can dictate the pace of the game on each side of the ball, and make Aaron Rodgers feel a little bit of sense of urgency.
And only 12 rushing yards for the Green Bay Packers through the first half. And Bob, we hate to give you all the credit. It's only one half, but you said if the Saints could dominate that portion of the game, they'd probably find a way to be successful in shutting down Aaron Jones. They've done so far in the first half. Any questions you guys have? Just a couple more minutes as we're here for the halftime report. Jason says, didn't realize Winston had some good wheels on him. I've always said that Jameis wasn't a scrambler, but he was a little bit more mobile than he got credit for. And a lot of that's because of his big frame, but he did a great job there on that first and second drive, keeping drives alive. I think 3 first downs with his legs so far, which is a little uncharacteristic out of Jameis, but I think that goes back to understanding situations, being a game manager, and understanding, hey, I need to get a first down here, but I don't necessarily have to take a huge risk. Keith says, dude's an athlete. I agree. Well, Bob, give me a couple key points for the New Orleans Saints if they want to see this through. They're up 14 going into the half. I think that's a surprise to a lot of people, especially the national media. I don't know if there was a single member of the national media on panels this morning that picked the New Orleans Saints in this game. How do the Saints see it out?
The Saints have to continue to control the pace of the game by running the ball. I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I would expect Sean Payton and Jameis Winston to take a play action shot or two down the field, to keep that Green Bay secondary and linebacking core from loading up in the box. Outside of that, Tony Jones, Alvin Kamara, they need to continue to run with authority, and make Jameis not have to take the shots down the field just to win the game. Davenport, Cam Jordan has played pretty well on the other edge too. Not only as pass rushers beating their blockers on the outside, but sealing the edge against that run. It allows Quan Alexander, Demario Davis free pass to the ball carrier. Debo seems to be playing pretty confidently right now. Lattimore is playing pretty smoothly as well. So that those cornerbacks have to continue to hold up in coverage. Because Aaron Rodgers is going to test them, especially on that first drive of the second half.
And then offensively, if you could fix anything, what would you fix for the New Orleans Saints?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. You'd like to see Jameis deliver the ball a little bit more on time to Kamara coming out of the backfield. We saw a couple of mini misfires. You want to see Kamara get the ball in stride. And there are 2 separate plays where I can think of. One, Alvin made a spectacular one-handed catch off balance to pick up a first down, and the other was a little bit of a misfire. So you need the ball in the hands of your best playmaker, and as best opportunity as you can give him in the open field.
Well, guys, that's Bob Rose. I'm Brendan Boylan. Make sure to follow all of us at the Saints News Network. We're going to have some great articles throughout the remainder of this game, and obviously after the game, great analysis from Bob, myself, Kyle T. Mosley, and John Hendricks, those two down in Jacksonville, Florida. We thank you so much for tuning in to the pregame show. Thank you so much for tuning in to the halftime show. And like I said, make sure to follow all of our analysis of the game over at Saints News Network. You can follow them on Twitter at Saints News, and we'll see if the Saints can hold on for their first victory of 2021. We'll see you guys later.